Hello there and welcome back to the channel. In this video, let's do a review of Mechanical Noel. But before we get into it, let's take a look at this little news item here. We got Karma added to the old EX costumes. Gale, Demos, Akeha, Argo, Lavanya, 063Y, F66X, Lars, Griff, and Noel. Unfortunately, no Hina. She's a pretty awesome costume as far as the old EX costumes go. And then rewards have been added to the shop for their stage. So we got 30 Dark Karma Stones. You can go ahead and choose a character at a max, or maybe, you know, mix it up and just unlock stage 1 or 2. Pretty cool. And you know, they're still a little dated, but you know, I don't know. Who are you thinking of putting Karma on? I'm thinking maybe Lavanya. He was my first, and he's really good. He's got that defense break. He's got an attack buff. Juice him up with 30% pursuit, you know? Could be really cool. All right, let's get into the banner review. So we have another mechanical costume here, the third in this current crossover. And it's Noelle. And she's looking really, really, really good. I'm assuming she's going to be the highest force character. I don't know yet, but because she has the highest attack value we've seen. Wait a minute, we've crossed 11, right? Okay, so it's pretty much as high as it goes. But the HP is also almost breaking over 100 and the defense is over 6,000. So this is insane balance, all of them high values. Okay, the news gets even better. Okay, we have a huge multiplier, 340 on a 5 hits. And it's a defense break. And it starts with a 25% increase at the start of battle. You get a bonus for light, an additional 70, but 340 is already high, making her good in all elements. Let's continue looking at the kit here. We got the new 30% vigor. Crit rate, 25, and if you get that third awakening, crit damage to 30. So she's going to be so easy to build. You know, it's going to be easy to tweak those memoirs to get that crit rate to 100 and the crit damage absurdly high, if you get that awakening, that is. And the debris, let's take a look. Flat for 35. Okay, that's the first time I'm looking at this. That's insanely high and it's flat. It's not timed. Usually if it's as high as 35, you only get it for 30 seconds. So pretty crazy. And then the Karma is as usual. So you can go for the crit rate, crit damage combo. Most likely the best choice there. And then here, one of the damage multipliers, bold, caged, or pursuit are all at 20, which makes sense when the unit's already tuned really high. And then Karma 3 is typical. Damage reduction, mastery, and then the resist, other than the ones that we usually skip. Okay, and then the weapon, it doesn't slow down here. The weapon is insanely good too. Attack is really high for a spear, over 3,000. HP is pretty high for a DPS weapon. The skills are like EX skills, 23 seconds, 100% 5 times. You need to have a spear user to get the buff, but you're gonna put it on Noelle. A 4 hits, and that's okay. So this is not like an EX because the skill is only 45, but it buffs damage. So that's timed, and so we talked about timed fatal in a previous video when I reviewed all of the Fest costumes. Timed fatal. Turns out timed fatal acts a lot like pursuit or bold vigor. It's like a multiplier at the end of the damage chain. Unlike how I previously thought that it just increased your crit damage in your stats. Very different, two very different things. Okay, you might say like, oh, 10 seconds, that's rough. You need to follow something up immediately to take advantage of that 10 seconds. But the whole point here is that you're probably comboing her with Summer Gale to get your timed fatal there. And then this, even though it's 10 seconds, you'll still have the full length of Gale's buff. So this will just stack on it. Otherwise, if you're not doing that, then yeah, go ahead, pop this first, and then make sure that her character skill and the other skill are next. Otherwise, it will wear off immediately. Okay, so that's really cool. That gives her... Well, let's compare it to Theo in a second here. Lucid Boon, more Fatal, and so, you know, when you get that time to Fatal, and you already have like a high crit damage, you know, it's just gonna, everything's just gonna stack more nicely. So you might be thinking to, you know, comparing her to Fest Theo right off the bat. Now, the reason that Fest Theo ended up being so powerful is that her character skill did have timed Fatal. So no matter what element she's using, she gets that timed Fatal. Again, a damage multiplier, the end of the damage calculation, right? Here you don't quite have that. But here you do have a good generalist. And if you're a newer player or still trying to build your account, it's always very advisable to go for a good generalist DPS character. So a year ago, we got Celeb Yuri, and she lasted us a long time. It was always the go-to when we needed damage. Then, of course, we just got Fest Theo, and she's good because of that time to Fatal buff, and then just good stats. Also Karma ready. So as is, this Noelle is already power crept. Doesn't have the timed Fatal baked in, but you'll be able to dial her crit rate and damage up so high because of these passives. That's, of course, if you get her awakened. But at least she does have the crit rate, which does still give you tons of flex room in your memoir tweaking to get those values super high. The general stats are amazing, so the high HP and defense is going to help you survive in Fateboard. So pretty much anytime you need a spear user in Fateboard, she's going to be your go-to now. So RIP Dragoon Noelle. Okay, and then, you know, should you pull? And yeah, the answer is yes if, you know, if you need that in your account right now. And if you're a Noelle fan, of course, you're going to want to go for her. And she's kind of a skip for me, but you know what? I just got some tickets from Tower, and I don't usually do this. But let's do some polls in video. Okay, I'm just gonna, I'll go ahead and YOLO both of these 10 tickets here. Let's do this. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Was that a lag? That looked like a lag, but I don't know if it's just BlueStacks. Okay, looks bad. All right, one more chance, one more chance. Let's give it the old triple pump for luck here. Aw, horrible. I'm stopping there. So, sorry, that wasn't more entertaining. But once again, you know, great overall unit here. Really strong, generally strong, super strong in lights. And then, you know, she might not have that damage multiplier gimmick like a timed Fatal or something, but she does have that defense break. So keep that in mind. That's really awesome. And sometimes in subjugation, you know, figuring out how to prolong your buff stacks up to 10 by knockdown, and then also prolonging your defense break stacks. That's the really challenging thing for me, and that's just gonna make your life a little more on easy mode. And if you're not using Fest Theo, Noelle can kind of go ahead and go in there in your wave 2 on all elements. And then just make your life easier with prolonging that defense break stack. Get that stack up to 10 where it needs to be. All right, sweet. So those are my thoughts for this video. Thanks so much for watching as always. And if you like what you see here, throw a like and a sub on it. It's much appreciated, helps me grow. In any case, I'll see you in the next one.